what's up guys? This is Mounir with AML Fitco Elite Fitness Coaching. Today we're going to be covering my top 5 foam rolling exercises to be done prior to deadlift. Now for those of you who are new to my videos or who don't fully understand foam rolling yet, it's not so important how foam rolling works. What's important is that it does work. And what foam rolling does is it allows us to release tight or overactive muscles and improve our mobility. So when we do deadlifts or squats, there is a massive need for ankle mobility. If we don't have good ankle mobility, it's going to affect our mechanics up the entire kinetic chain such that the rest of our body doesn't work as well as it could if our ankles were more mobile. So one of the leading causes of tight ankles or poor ankle mobility is tight calves. And when the calves are overactive, it can cause the toes to turn out, which we refer to as ankle pronation. And it can also cause us to have difficulty getting into the proper position for a deadlift with a straight back. So that's why my first of my top 5 foam rolls for deadlift is to roll out our calves. So a quick review, for those of you who've seen my other videos on how to roll out the calves, you already know how. There's also an advanced one if you have knee pain due to tight calves, but we're gonna go over the most basic technique. Start with the roller under your ankle. Roll all the way to the back of your knee. If it's too intense, take your other foot off. If it's not intense enough, lift your hips up so you get more weight on it, so you have your whole body weight in there, okay? Identify the spot in your calf that feels the most tender or painful. From there, take your calf or your ankle through a full range of motion. That may start with forward and back, but then we're gonna add a turning motion where we're making a big circle. So you're gonna make 10 big circles. If you have a lot of time or you wanna be a superstar, you can also go 10 big circles the other way, but it's not always necessary. Now, you may have extra tightness in your inner or outer calf, so make sure to address those as well. Now, next up on the list for our pre-deadlift foam rolling exercises is going to be the quads, hips, and glutes. So I've kind of grouped those all into one category. You guys are already quite familiar with a lot of those. So the quads, for those of you who are new, check this out. Start with the roller right here. You're going to place your thigh on the roller. Okay, so we're actually going to start up in our hip where we're going to get an idea of where our hips are tight, but we're going to roll all the way down to our knee. Okay, now you're going to have multiple tight spots in there because there are 22 different muscles in your thigh. So I'm feeling it mostly down here in the muscle called my vastus medialis, as well as where it ties in near the sartorius. So what we're gonna do, if this hurts a lot, just start by moving the ankle back and forth. Once that gets more comfortable, you're gonna do 10 knee bends or hamstring curls. And then you're gonna address the next tight spot. Do 10 there too. Next, we're gonna go into the hip, which again, hip mobility is very important for getting our back in a safe and proper straight position when we deadlift. So for the hip, you're going to identify which part of the hip is the most tight. From there, you're going to go side to side 10 times, okay? So that's hip rotation. That's going to open it up. For glutes, very simple. We don't want to make this overly complicated. What we're going to do is have a seat on the roller. From there, lean into one side. I'm going to keep working on my left here. So I'm going to roll over my left butt cheek and identify which spots are the most sore. Now, after having done the quads, the glutes will feel very minor in comparison. So you may say, hey, I don't feel anything. Well, just identify where it's tight, and if you still really don't feel anything, cross your leg over, and that's gonna let you get a little deeper in there. You identify a slightly tender spot. Again, it's nothing compared to the quads. From there, you could start with just a little knee motion, but what's gonna give you more benefit, more value, is reach your heel out, bring your knee to your chest. Reach your heel out, bring your knee to your chest. You can even add a rotation to that if you wanna be a superstar. Now, if that still isn't enough for you, get a tennis ball, or if you want to go super hard, a lacrosse ball or a softball, and put it right under your butt cheek, roll around. I guarantee you're going to feel some kind of pain in there, and that's really going to give you a potent release. Now, if that hurts too much, obviously you don't do it, okay? So let's see what's next on my list. I know these things about hurt, but I want to make sure I'm following the full list to give you guys max value. The next one is upper back. So when we're doing deadlifts, the last thing we want is to not be able to get upper back extension, because then we're going to round, we're going to mess up our back, okay? That's going to put our spine in a compromised position. So there are 2 other videos on my channel you may have already seen on the upper back opener, but for those who are new, you're going to place the roller down like so, and you're going to roll over your entire upper back. So this is going to feel pretty darn good for most people. If it hurts, stick with it for at least 3 weeks, and it'll get a lot less painful. Pause on the spot between your shoulder blades and your lower back. So here's my lower back. You never want to roll that because it could potentially cause injury. Here are my shoulder blades. That's not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on the point right below the shoulder blades, the lowest point of the upper back between the shoulder blades and the lower back. From there, butt is on the ground. That's our anchor. From there, we're going to reach our head back 10 times, side bends 10 times, twisting 10 times. Now, some people get confused about the side bends and the twists because they are both odd movements, and a lot of people kind of confuse the two of them together. So to show you guys from this angle, side bend constitutes bringing my elbow to my side, but you see that my elbows are staying relatively level with the ground. In contrast, the twisting one, my elbows are changing relative to the ground, but they're not changing relative to my hips. Now, one thing I'm actually doing wrong here is I'm not as far back as I could be. You need to get as far back as you can so you get maximum value out of this stretch, and so it actually makes a big difference for you. Now, for those who are looking for something more advanced, you can take an attachment for one of the lat pull downs or any kind of stick or bar, but make sure it doesn't weigh more than 5 pounds, because then you could potentially hurt your shoulder. From there, this is the advanced version, same position. You're gonna reach this back all the way, and that's gonna give you even more thoracic extension, meaning extension of your upper back. Check it out from the side. Again, same position, right below the shoulder blades, but above the lower back. From there, reach back. My butt is on the ground, and I'm reaching back. This feels amazing. Okay, guys? So, last one. I think I already know what it is, but let me check. Boom, serratus and obliques. Okay. So, we've gone over the serratus and obliques before. It's definitely an interesting one, and there's a more detailed video on this on my channel that you can check out. But just to give you guys a simple version that you can do very quickly and easily, because again, the reason we choose your top 5 foam rolling exercises is so you can do it in 5 to 10 minutes, because if you only have an hour to work out, which a lot of you only do have 1 hour blocked out to work out because you're that damn busy, and I respect that, but you gotta get that 1 hour in, you wanna make this as efficient as possible. I mean, in truth, I do at least 7 to 10 foam rolling exercises before deadlifts when I have time, and I usually make time to do it because I've gotten injured before and I'm not letting that happen again. So, but again, choose your top 5 because that will still serve you quite well, especially if you don't have existing injuries. And that's why level 1 and 2, you're spending a lot of time on that. While on Wednesdays, you spend a lot of time doing at least 10 corrective exercises or foam rolls. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find your serratus, okay? So a little bit of background on this, and you'll learn more in my other video. Your serratus is the muscle right along the rib area here that you see when someone hits an ab shot, those little side muscles that kind of are above your obliques. Okay, your serratus attaches to your chest, to your lat, to your abs and obliques, even to some of your rotator cuff muscles. I mean, it's all connected in there. And so if your serratus is tight, which it will be if you spend any length of time in front of a computer where you're hunched over and your serratus is shortened by the shortening, it's going to be hard for you to get thoracic extension because your anterior serratus is pulling you forward, and your posterior serratus, which is in the back, can't give you that upper back thoracic extension. So to get into the serratus, we're going to find, essentially you're going to roll over your ribs. It's the easiest way of describing where it is. And it's going to hurt like hell, not just because it's your ribs, but because your serratus is more than 99% likely tight. From there, reach out, reach back, reach out, reach back. If you need more range of motion, do this on a bench so that you have the motion to go under the bench. But the floor should serve just fine. So you're going to do 10 shoulder press motions. You can also rotate your thumb up, you can rotate your thumb down, hunt around, see where you feel it the most. And then when you finish those, you can also do, so you're going to do 10 of those, 10 shoulder presses, then you can do 10 arm raises. From there, you can also address your obliques, which may not be quite as tight, but they're still worth addressing if you have time. So, boom, get those in, all right? So those are my top 5 foam rolls before deadlift. That's gonna allow you to get your hips in the right position, which is gonna help your lower back. It's gonna allow you to get your upper back in the right position, because now your serratus and upper back are released, which is gonna help protect your lower back as well, because at the end of the day, when we deadlift, we wanna feel our hamstrings, glutes, a little bit of quads, maybe a little bit of calves, definitely some lats and upper back, but we don't want to feel our lower back. And you also want to feel a little bit of core. But if you're feeling your lower back more than 5%, like a lot of people when they first do it feel their lower back at least 60%, that's not what you want. You want only about 5% of the work to be done by your lower back, because your lower back is meant to stabilize. It's not meant to actually extend your spine, at least under a load. I mean, we can do back extensions, which will give you that benefit without the load. But if you're deadlifting a significant amount of weight and you're having to take your spine from rounding to straightening under that load, you're going to cause a lot of damage to your spine, and you're going to feel a lot in your lower back, which is your warning sign, so you got to switch it up. Instead, your lower back should be straight the whole time, because we fixed our upper back, we fixed our hips in the right position, and now all your lower back muscles have to do is stabilize your spine instead of trying to concentrically lift it, which is what is going to potentially cause injuries over time. So guys, be safe with your lower back. Check out my other videos, deadlift video. Make sure you do your top 5 foam rolls prior to deadlift, and check out the next video for your top 5 corrective exercises prior to deadlifts. Thank you very much.